Hello everyone. Please, if you hear us, please write something in the chat. Please, guys, if you hear us, write something in the chat. Oh, yes, I can see that. Yes, I can see that people is hearing us. Okay, nice. Okay. So we will start. Hello everyone and welcome to our live webinar. My name is Mohammed Adam and I will be your moderator today. I'm joined by my colleagues Mohammed and Mohammed Khalil, Amin and Taha. But unfortunately, Amin couldn't be here today because of some technical issues. But we will give the part to his part to Mohammed. So together we are presenting this webinar as part of our course of digital media in the age of AI. Our topic is AI influencers. AI influencers. Would you follow a virtual person? So we are very excited to explore this fascinating trend with you. Before we begin, we want to make this session more interactive. So feel free to share any thoughts and questions in the comments during the live. We will also have a Q&A session at the end. So let's start. We want to make this session interactive. So we are going to start by showing you two images of different influencers, and you have to guess if they are real or AI. So I will start first by doing that. Okay. So here is the first one. So if you think that this influencer is real, write in the chat real. If you think he's AI, write AI. Write it in the comments so I can see it. So again, I will repeat it. If you think he is, now I can see. Oh, you are writing in the comments. So yeah, real, AI, AI, AI. Okay, AI. Oh, nice. So based on your answers, we can deduct that AI influencers are becoming popular on social. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. So now I will show you the second one. So do you think this girl is an AI influencer or a real influencer? Yeah, write it please in the chat again. If you think she's AI influencer, write AI. If you think she's real, write real. Yeah. Okay. The majority said real. So you have right. So this okay, sorry. Yeah. This one is an AI influencer, and this one is a real influencer. So and the majority get it right. So that means that AI influencers are becoming famous and people start knowing them. So to know more about this topic, I will start by giving a small definition of AI influencers. Okay, sorry, 1 minute, please. Okay, so yeah, basically, an AI influencer is a digital character created using AI. They post content they post content like human. They collaborate with brands and they interact with the followers. And And yeah, but they are completely virtual. Okay, so now I will give the floor to my friend Taha, who will talk about more famous AI influencers and explain to you why brands use AI influencers. Taha, do you hear me?
Yes.
So this is your
We're gonna move on to examples and popular AI influencers. So now let's look at some examples of AI influencers. Some of the most famous ones are like Lil Miquela, Shudo, and Dima. These visual personalities are not real, but they have very large audiences on social media. They post photos, share stories, and interact with followers just like a human can do. Many people like their content, leave comments, and sometimes even believe that they are real. And this shows how powerful and convincing AI generated characters can be. And also, there are brands who also are interested in working with these AI influencers. One reason is they do not create scandals because companies fully take control on what they say and what they do. Another reason is that their image is completely controlled, so they always match the they match the brand's message. And also, AI influencers are available 24/7, which means that they can post content at any time. In longer term, they can also be cheaper to hire and cheaper to hire than human influencers. So most of these advantages come from AI influencers, and which makes it easier for companies to use. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Taha. So now I will give the floor to my friend Mohammed, who will talk about the ethical concerns. Do you hear me, Mohammed?
Yes, hi there.
Yeah. So the floor
Uh,
is yours.
Now we will talk about the ethical concerns for AI influencers. So far, we have talked about what AI influencers and are and why they are becoming so popular. But now I want to slow down and ask a deeper question. Just because we can create them, does that mean we should? The rise of AI influencers is not just a technological story, it is also a story about values, responsibility, and the kind of digital world we want to live in. Let's explore the main ethical concerns one by one. Transparency and deception. The first and perhaps most fundamental concern is transparency. In other words, honesty about what these influencers actually are. Many AI influencers have incredibly realistic faces, voices, and personalities. They post daily content, reply to comments, and share what looks like a personal life. For many followers, especially younger ones or people who are less familiar with this technology, it is genuinely difficult to tell the difference between a real human and a virtual character. The question is, do users have the right to know? Most people would say yes. When you follow someone online, you are making a choice to trust them, to be influenced by their opinion, to buy products they recommend. That trust is based on an assumption, the assumption that a real person is behind the account. When that assumption is false, and no one tells you, it raises serious question about informed consent. Some countries and platforms are beginning to require AI influencers to clearly label their content, but these rules are still inconsistent and often poorly enforced. Until transparency become a global standards, deception, even deception remains a real risk. Secondly, unrealistic beauty standards. The second concern is closely related to something we already see with traditional social media, but AI influencers make it to a completely new level. I'm talking about unrealistic beauty standards. Human influencers edit their photos. We know that, but AI influencers are designed from scratch. Every detail, their skin, their body shape, their symmetry is chosen to look perfect. They never have a bad hair day, but they never age, they never gain weight. They exist in a permanent state of visual perfection that no human being can ever truly achieve. For young audience, in particular, teenagers who are already navigating complex feeling about their bodies and their identities. This kind of content can be deeply harmful. Research of social media and body image have repeatedly shown that exposure is to images is linked to lower self-esteem, anxiety, and even eating disorders. AI influencers don't just reflect these problems, they amplify them because the person setting the standard is literally impossible to compare yourself to. They are not real, and yet the pressure they create is very real. This is a challenge not just for individuals, but for society. We need to ask whether platforms have a responsibility to protect their users from content that is psychologically harmful, even when that content is technically legal. Thirdly, manipulation and hidden advertising. The third concern is one that many people overlook, but it may be the most powerful of all manipulation. When a human influencer promotes a product, they are sharing a personal opinion. You can choose to trust them or not. But when an AI influencer promotes a product, there is no personal opinion. There is only a carefully engineered message designed by a company optimized to pursue you as effectively as possible. AI influencers are entirely controlled by their creator. Every word they say, every product they endorse, every lifestyle choice they appear to make, it's all a deliberate business decision. And because they look and feel like real people, it becomes much harder for audiences to recognize that they are watching an advertisement. This is called covert persuasion. And it is a serious ethical and even legal issue. In many countries, advertising laws require that paid promotions be clearly labeled, but the lines become blurry when the person promoting the product is also an artificial creation of the same company selling the product. The audience is essentially being sold to without fully understanding the relationship between the messenger and the message. And with advance in AI, these influencers will only become better at personalizing their content to your specific fears, desires, and behaviors based on your data. This is uh, an amount of power in the hand of corporation with very little regulation at the moment. Now we will talk about the trust, emotional connection, and betrayal. The fourth concern is perhaps the most human one: trust. People form real emotional connection with the influencers they follow. They feel like they know them. They celebrate their milestones, worry about their struggles, and feel inspired by their journeys. This parasocial relationship, a one-sided but emotionally genuine connection, is a well documented psychological phenomenon. No, imagine finding out the person you follow for 2 years, who advice you took, whose life you admired was never real. Many people have described this discovery as a kind of betrayal, a feeling of embarrassment, confusion, or even grief. It disrupts not just their relationship with that amount, but their trust in digital spaces more broadly. For the conclusion, so what does all of this tell us? It tells us that AI influencers are not simply a fun novelty or a clever marketing tool. They are a mirror that reflects some of the deepest challenges of our digital age. Questions about honesty, about identity, about who holds power and who it is used. Technology moves fast. Ethics needs to keep up. As consumer, creator, and citizens, we all have a role to play in shape the norms around AI influencers, demanding transparency, questioning perfection, and protecting the value of genuine human connection. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Yeah. At this point, we would like to hear your opinion. So yeah, is it ethical to follow someone who is not real person? And should companies clearly tell us when content is created by AI? So shortly, do you think AI influencer should be labeled clearly? Please write in the chat yes or no. Please. Yeah, if you think that AI influencers should be labeled, write yes. If not, write no. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. The majority said yes. So it seems people want to know when content is created by AI. Okay. Now I will give the floor to Khalil, who will talk about the impact on society. Khalil, do you hear me?
Yeah, here, here.
Yeah,
So
so the
hello
floor is
everyone.
yours.
We will talk about the positive and negative effects of the AI influences on our society. So on the positive side, they can help create new and creative content. And since they are designed with technology, they can appear in unique styles, virtual worlds, and imaginative situations that are not possible for real people. We have many examples of AI influencers which have characters that can tell stories, promote brands, and entertain audiences in new ways, which makes the social media more innovative and interesting. Another point is that AI influencers can also create new job opportunities, since behind every AI influencer, there is a team of people, such as designers, programmers, marketers, and content creators, who build and manage the character. And that means that the rise of AI influencers can support many careers in technology and digital media. Another advantage is that there is no privacy issues, because AI influencers do not have real personal lives. They do not face problems like scandals or personal conflicts, which makes them easier for companies to manage. In addition to that, AI influencers can promote diversity. They can be designed to represent different cultures, styles, and identities, which can help include a wider range of people in the media representation. However, on the other hand, there are also negative effects. AI influencers may, for example, create unrealistic expectations, especially about beauty and lifestyle. And because they often look perfect and flawless, this can make people, especially young users, feel pressure to look or live in a certain way that is not realistic. Moreover, AI influencers may also replace human influencers, which could reduce opportunities for real content creators who depend on social media for income. Another important concern is the creation of fake relationships. For example, some followers may feel emotionally connected to an AI influencer. However, even though that influencer is not a real person, this can affect how people understand relationships and social interactions. So, and finally, AI influencers can lead to trust problems. As more content is created by artificial intelligence, it may become harder and harder for people to know what is real and what is not online, which can lead to a reduce in trust in social media platform and digital content. So what we learn from there is that, in conclusion, AI influencers can inspire creativity and innovation, but they also raise important concerns about reality, trust, and social impact. Now we'll go back to our moderation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Khalil, for this amazing presentation. Yeah, now I will give the floor again to Muhammad, who will talk about the future. Do you hear me, Muhammad?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
No, we have talked about what AI influencers are today, but what about tomorrow? The truth is, we are only at the very beginning of this revolution. The next few years could completely transform how we consume content, how we learn, and even how we define fame and connection. Let's take a look at what the future might hold. Starting with advertising, brands are already experimenting with virtual influencers, but this is just the beginning. In the future, companies may rely on AI influencers as their primary marketing strategy. Why? Because unlike human celebrities, virtual influencers never cause scandals, never demand higher salaries, and can be active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week across every language and every market. A single AI influencer could promote a product in Arabic in Morocco in the morning and in Japanese in Tokyo by the afternoon. For global brands, that kind of flexibility is incredibly valuable. But advertising is just one possibility. Perhaps one of the most exciting application is in education. Imagine a virtual teacher who is always passionate, always available, and always adapting to your level of understanding. AI, AI influencers in education could explain complex concepts in simple, engaging ways, combining the entertainment style of social media with the depth of real learning for students in remote areas or those who struggle in tradition classroom setting. This could be genuinely life changing. Learning wouldn't have to stop when schools ends. It could happen anytime, anywhere, guided by a digital personality designed to make knowledge accessible and even enjoyable. Then there is the idea of virtual celebrities, digital personalities who reach the same level of fame as real actors, or we have already seen hints of this with characters like Hudson Mickey in Japan, who fills entire concert stadium despite being entirely virtual. As technology improves, these stars could headline music festivals, star in film, and build massive global fan bases without ever truly exciting outside of a screen. And finally, the idea that I personally find the most fascinating, personalized AI influencers. Today, influencers speak to millions of people at once with the same message. But in the future, you could have a virtual influencer built specifically for you, one that knows your taste in music, your fashion preferences, your study habits, your goals. It wouldn't just recommend what is trending. It would recommend what is right for you, learning and evolving as you grow. In many ways, it would become a digital companion, part advisor, part personal coach. The future of AI influencers is not just about technology. It's about reimagining the relationship between people and digital content. The possibilities are incredible, but as we move forward, we must also carry with us the ethical questions we discussed earlier, because the future this power requires wisdom, not just innovation. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. Yeah, for our conclusion, we want to do something a little different. Instead of giving you a final answer, we want you to decide. So our conclusion will be interactive and creative. We will answer our main question together. Would you follow a virtual influencer? So type yes if you would follow a virtual influencer, or no if you wouldn't. And let's see, what do you think? So yeah, please. Okay. Oh, no. No. Depends. That's a good answer. No. Oh. So the conclusion that you took from our life is you don't you will not follow a virtual influencer. Okay, I can see. So okay, now we will move to what we said before, that we will answer the questions in the Q&A part. Your questions that you typed before in the comments. So yeah, I will choose one of the questions. Okay, this is a good one. How are AI influencers actually created? So they are designed using AI tools, 3D modeling, and motion capture to make them look and behave like real humans. This is my answer. Yeah. And okay, I will choose another question, and I will let one of my colleagues to answer it. Okay. Okay. This one is good. Can AI influencer collect or measure our data? Okay. Mohammed, do you hear me? Do you hear the question?
Yes,
Did you hear the question?
yes, I hear it.
Okay, can you
I
answer,
think
please?
yes, I think yes, I think if platforms behind them track user interactions, data can be collected like any other social media account.
Okay, thank you. I will move to another question. I will see another question. Okay. Yes. Are there laws regulating AI influencers? Khalil, can you answer this question, please? Do you hear me?
Yes. To answer
Please.
the question, personally, I think that there are no strict laws yet for AI influencers. However, some rules are starting to appear, especially in countries and organizations like the European Union, who are asking for clear disclosure when content is AI generated. In addition to that, we also have agencies like the Federal Trade Commission, which require transparency in advertising. But overall, regulation is still developing, and it may become stricter in the future, hopefully. So that was
Okay,
me.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Khalil. I will choose a last question that I will personally answer, so we can end the live. Okay, can people become emotionally attached to AI influencers? The answer is yes, especially because they interact like real humans, which can create strong emotional connections. That's it. I guess I we answered the majority of the questions. Now we will come back to the other uh, uh, the other colleagues. Yeah, Taha, Taha, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Muhammad, Khalil.
Yes.
Yeah, so we arrived to the end of our live webinar. We want to thank the people who watched us during this whole live and interacted with us. Yeah, and thank you guys for being here also and sharing all this informations. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this live webinar, and I hope also that you learned something and you get an idea about AI influencers. So yeah, see you in the next live, and bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.